And you're just in time for Richard Mwenja exclusive. And yet again, we bring in the show right from 1442 Kusini. Of course, a real estate property located here in South B along Surrey Road. There's a lot for you to grab. I'm talking about 1-bedroom apartment units, 2-bedroom apartment units. But for the 1-bedroom units, you can get them at 5.7 million Kenya shillings only. 2-bedroom units go for only 7.7 million Kenya shillings. And for you to know more about the property in a more up-close and personal way, how about you make your way here for open day on the 20th day of June, the year of our Lord 2025. That is just in a couple of days from today. You get to meet development partners. Of course, if you want to get a financing partner for this property, Kenya Mortgage and Refinance Corporation are going to be there. Cooperative Bank, among a raft of other partners. So make your way here and get to know more about these amazing apartments that are up for grabs for you. So Prof, today you want to have a conversation about this test that has been weighed on the broad-based government. And a few days ago, we saw Governor Gladys Wanga actually disapprove the broad-based government following increased cases of extrajudicial killings, police brutality being weighed on protesters out here. And actually, some ODM MPs are already threatening to start the impeachment of President William Ruto. And we want to understand, do you think this is going to be something that they are punching above their weight in the first place?
They're just joking. They are not serious.
Why do you say so?
So we know. To get to impeaching a president, you start from far. We can sense the temperature. There's nothing in the air to tell us there's anybody who can impeach Ruto here.
They're biting more than they could chew?
They think their people, their followers are gullible. They will believe them. Because they also know people are expecting them to come out fighting. Yeah. And they have not done so. So they are trying to talk themselves around that. But they are not serious.
Earlier this week, we saw the president defend the broad-based government, and he came forth, the broad-based government, and he came forth and saying, this is not a creation of Raila Odinga or a creation of myself. It is God-sent. And these are conversations we've had over time. The president continuously justifying the presence of broad-based government in the first place. If indeed it was working, as many would expect, why then go and try to publicize it further or advertise it?
You know, Waswahili wanasema kibaya chajitembeza na chema chajiuza. If something is good, like you say, it will just be obvious. And invoking God's name in vain is very un-Christian for those who are a Christian like the president. I think God can get annoyed.
Even when you DMPs believe the president himself is a God-sent leader?
No, God doesn't work like that. God is a serious being, not a joker.
So, Prof, heading into the future...
God cannot bring something which the entire country hates. Unless he's giving in to people the way he gave in to Israelites. He told them, Munataka this wafalme shauri yenu. They will do stuff to you and your children. But take because you have forced me, you want. You want kings instead of judges. So yeah, but this is not the case here.
Political pundits continue to take concern with Raila Odinga's continued silence on this police brutality. Yes, he dishes out a statement, but over some mirror of malice case of scenario. Would you say that Raila Odinga needs to be even more audible about this protest in the first place?
You know, if you are in a situation such as that of Raila Odinga, there are many things you do behind the scenes. You engage the president. You cannot be in a working relationship with the president and then you go and shout on rooftops or lead people to demonstrate. It's not possible. So other than the statement which he issued, I'm sure there must have been engagements between Raila and the president. Yeah.
And now going to the future, Prof, if we are talking about Raila Odinga trying to redefine his legacy, yet again, would you say that now starts with probably walking out of the broad-based government in the first place, so that he seems to be a champion for the people and not really for the serving regime?
You see, that is very difficult to say because everybody is wondering what Raila is doing there. That's obvious. People know, and they keep saying, if Raila were to leave Ruto today, Ruto may not even stand. He may run away. Because minus Raila, how far can he go? So that question is a very difficult question to answer. That despite all that, Raila is still with Ruto. So how can I address that myself? You're being too unfair to me.
But look at in 27, the prospects of 2027 elections,
Yes.
and some would wonder, even in the event that Raila Odinga walks away from this broad-based
Yes.
government arrangement and goes to run as a presidential candidate,
Yes.
do you think he stands a chance of really regaining his organic following that he enjoyed up to 2022 elections?
People are unhappy with Ruto, and everybody says Ruto will go home. But they have not shown me the person to remove Ruto. Although we have Matiang'i, we have Eugene Wamalwa, Natembeya, Kalonzo, they can all try. Only one man can send Ruto away without trying. Raila Odinga. Without trying. If Raila stands, then you can know Ruto is going home.
But already the man Raila has blemish to his name. But now we are seeing a new candidate, David Maraga, with zero blemish on his card. Do you think that could be a factor, Prof?
I don't think people use that to make decisions of who becomes president.
Not even with the Gen Z awakening?
Not even abilities. If it was ability, they would come for me. Because I'm the only man who can change this country.
Prof?
Yes. I'm the only man who can change this country. Because if you make me president, my first day in office, nobody will joke. People will know Kenya is not going to be the same again.
You'll be better than Matiang'i?
100 times better. I'll be like Mutala Mohammed in Nigeria. When he became president, unfortunately through a military coup, the chaotic roads in Lagos, Nigeria, barabara zilifunguka, hakuna jam. Watu walisikia tu nani amechukua hiyo kitu? Mohammed Mutala. Kila mtu discipline. That will be me. I become president today. All this nonsense you see around will cease from day one. Yeah. So, but then do you think Kenyans will come for me? So Kenyans are looking for, they use other parameters. And they sio nani yako mweupe kama pamba. So if Raila comes today, Raila is a master of reinventing himself. And remember that for Raila, people do his work.
People,
those politicians, many of them will support him for their selfish reasons. And they will also know, Gachagua will know, Kalonzo will know, Eugene will know, Matiang'i will know, that if you want to remove Ruto, Raila will be a sure bet. And they will support him. Like I've said, some of them looking at him, oh, sasa huyu ataenda one term, mini chukwe, selfish reasons. But all of them will support him. No politician from the top can oppose it. Maybe Mother Karua can say, no, Raila, you let us down. All these others will say, Baba Karibu.
Baba Tosha.
Baba Tosha.
Rightly put, Prof. Do you somewhat have an impression that even when talking about the people's level opposition led by Kalonzo Musyoka and Gachagua, that all they are doing is betting on the prospects of getting support from Raila Odinga, without which then Ruto is going to have a field day?
Not necessarily getting support. They think they can win without Raila support. They have tried to get it. They have concluded that it is not forthcoming. So they are working without Raila Odinga. Yet they are still hoping to get, and they can get. All I can tell them that it's not as easy as they think. Running against Ruto is not a joke. This I can tell my fellow Kenyans. All this anger around must be harnessed and directed to the ballot. So the only person who can save this country is the Gen Z.
The Gen Z?
If they get into this game, it's game over.
Maraga can be president or Manyora?
If they want.
If they want.
Those are the ones now who can vote in a person other than the big. But to depart from the big names is also not easy, even for the Gen Zs. Yeah.
If Kenyans, Prof, are going to vote along tribal lines like they've done before, or where money is poured the most, you've argued before that only Kalonzo Musyoka, when it comes to 27 elections, presents a neutral card upon which other communities can rally behind with ease.
True.
Do you still hold that view?
Yeah, it's true.
So it's going to be a Kalonzo Matiang'i, it works. Kalonzo Natembeya, it works.
Best will be Kalonzo Natembeya. That's the best ticket. In terms of if Kenyans are looking at, considering. But if it is kupasua, a Matiang'i and a Gachagua must be. I'm telling you. The most lethal combination, Gachagua Natembeya.
Gachagua Natembeya?
Is lethal. Extremely lethal. But if it's a man solo, the most lethal is Matiang'i.
All right, Prof, before we close our conversation, let me bring you to speed about 1442 Kusini. It is a real estate property, and actually we're doing this show right from one of their 2-bedroom unit apartments that are going for 7.7 million Kenya shillings. You can also get a 1-bedroom unit for your family at 5.7 million Kenya shillings. Good thing is that on the 20th day of June, the year of our Lord 2025, we're going to be having our open day. Here you get to meet development partners up close and personal. Get to know also about the Kenya Mortgage Refinance Corporation, who can walk this journey with you to ensure that at the fullness of time, you get to own one of these units. They are located here in South B along Surrey Road. They are very near to social amenities that will be of greater good to you and your family, or even for your future investments. If you want to get one of these units for speculative purposes, you are invited here on the 28th day of June. Prof is going to be here with the entire team. You also get to know about Nairobi Review. You're going to have lots of Nyama Choma accompaniments therein, and also get to know about how we do and even shoot these productions. Prof, do you invite diaspora people to also own some of these units?
In fact, when you come from America or Australia, you should just come and sleep in your apartment. This is very little money for anybody in America or Australia. It is little, it is small, but it can come in handy. Yeah, if you are to ever land on the wrong side of Trump, you find yourself.
You become an alien.
Before you are prepared, before that mansion you are building somewhere in Kusini is ready. The money you will spend in a hotel for a month or two, you come to your own place and stay.
All right, how about you sign up for this open day coming on the 20th of June via the description tab on this particular video. Fill your details therein. You're gonna get a slot for the open day, and you're gonna have more information that will be of greater good to your financial decisions. Or even better, how about you call the realtor designate for this particular property unit, that is Njau, through the number 0745 322 029. Also call this number 0700 586 243. It is 1442 Kusini, located in South B along Surrey Road. Prof, almost finally. Now, we're only 2 years away from 2027 elections, and some would even wonder, what is the place of money gonna be in deciding who's gonna take the presidential seat or even any other elective seat?
It's unfortunate, but I can see a lot of money being poured. And I can see inflation setting in because of the big money in the economy circulating, not backed by any production. You're an economist, you know that. So I think money will be big in this game. And because you see everybody saying Ruto is going home.
Sure.
Do they know how prepared he is? And you know, I look at them sometimes, I laugh. Do they know how prepared Ruto is?
Can pull the Jirongo card?
No, I'm just asking, do they know how prepared he is? They think he doesn't know that things are bad for him. They think he can't smell in the air. He can't see. He can't hear. Ruto knows things are bad for him. But he must be prepared. And therefore, part of it is logistics. This election is going to be heavy on logistics, heavy on narratives, big media spending. You see, we are now heading towards America, where there's heavy spending on media. You create narratives, you frame things, and put them outside there for the public to make them see things your way, vote for you. Of course, we are moving away from direct money. But I will tell you this. A lot of the opinion leaders, people who make sense, people who shape opinion through media, through other centers of influence, the church, the movement, they are going to be up for grabs, if I use that word. There's going to be a lot of money circulating from next year. So if anybody wants to be president, it's very unfortunate for them. They will need resources. Let us assume there's a united opposition.
True.
And there is no wave. You know a wave you can do without assent. If you reproduce the rainbow wave, you don't need money. But supposing you are somehow, because the other side is fighting, it's not sleeping. They know they will prevent that wave from happening. And there are many ways they can do. Ruto will, between now and 2027, Ruto is going to swing a lot of surprises to diffuse and to make sure that wave doesn't happen. So if the wave doesn't happen, my friend, and you are standing in this country and you have some miserable 10 billion, just go home.
Go back to your family.
Go back to your family. If you are a woman, go back to your husband and children. If you are a man, go back to your wife and your children.
Finally, Prof.
No, don't say you are in the race. You are not in the race.
Just a busybody.
And don't. I know there are people who will jump. Oh, Manyora thinks money. I've already explained. If there is a wave, money is not important. But to create the wave is also not easy, because the guy you are running against is aware if there's a wave, he's gone. So there are many things he will do to ensure the wave doesn't happen. So if you have a normal election, money is important. Fundraising in America is an indicator of how serious a candidate is. And it plays a big role in the final results. So money is important in an election. In this kind of politics we play. The politics of America, Europe, now we are part of that ecosystem in which we think politics must be played in a certain way. It's big people with big names, with big titles, with big everything, with big pockets. Sasa wewe utokee hapo. Unless there is a wave, you stand no chance.
Not even your well-oiled manifesto can help you.
No, who reads the manifesto? Have you ever seen voters reading manifesto? Have you read one yourself? And you are an economist.
Finally, Prof, let's talk about this wave. And a particular aspect of this wave can be that of the wave from the church.
Yes.
And you've argued many times that religion is an opium of the masses. And do you see potential of President Ruto making inroads to the church to get the support that he got in 2022 elections from the church community?
Well, I can say this. The church was instrumental in Ruto's victory. They were with him from as early as 2020 because the no campaign featured Ruto and the church.
Sure.
So they have never let him down. But today I have bad news for him.
Which is?
The church will go no more than the church leadership. There is no pastor of a church or a father atakaa pale mbele na kola anaambia watu ati sasa tunapigia. They will not.
Hustler atawale.
No, forget. You can be taken care of. And now voters have known that these guys are taken care of. They saw the vehicles, fathers and priests and pastors. If they challenge me, they come, I tell them so and so. I know some of them. They know. So this time the sad news for Ruto is that the church will mean the pastor and the lay leaders there. Hao wanakaanga mbele peke yao.
Mama assembly.
Lakini wale wako huko raia. Wale kama wanakupenda utakuwa wanakupenda. Na kio sio kwa sababu ati viongozi wameambiwa tupigie fulani kura. That you can forget.
Well, there you have it. That point by Professor Herman Manyora takes us to the wrap of today's conversation, discussing a raft of issues in the world of politics and governance. But before I close the conversation, remember we are doing this right from 1442 Kusini, a real estate property located in South B along Surrey Road. You're going to get 1-bedroom apartments for sale going at 5.7 million Kenyan shillings, 2-bedroom apartment units for sale at 7.7 million Kenyan shillings. How about you also join us on our open day on the 20th day of June, the year 2025. You're going to meet development partners, come meet Kenya Mortgage Refinance Corporation, who are willing, more than willing actually, to work with you this journey to make sure that the fullness of time you acquire this property. Other financing partners, stock of Cooperative Bank, are going to be here. We as Nairobi Review team are also going to be in the room so that you also get to have a conversation with us, know about how we do all these conversations, national dialogue conversations. And also we get to tell you more about this real estate property. How about you call Njau, designated real estate agent for this particular property through 0745 322 029. Also call Kusini via the number 0700 586 243. 1442 Kusini, of course, are going to offer you the art of living you deserve. Prof, until you get to do this again, let our viewers enjoy the rest of your win, right?
Correct.
Good.